my presentation with some words about the importance of questions. Uh, Vygotsky said that a correct statement of the questions is no less a matter of scientific creativity and investigation than a correct answer, and it is much more crucial. Uh, he said that the vast majority of contemporary psychological investigation write out the last decimal point with a great care and precision in answer to a question that is stated fundamentally incorrectly. I think it is a very important point, and I think we should think seriously about the correct statement of questions. We try to pose some question. I don't know if it is a right statement, but these questions is not a product of individual activity. It is a collective. It is a product of collective search process. I think that they are a collective for our discussion in the previous meeting. Second, they are real questions, not rhetorical questions, and they are open-ended questions. And it is so difficult to find. It is not closed question. It is so difficult to find one right answer. I think that there are different answering strategies and a different combination of research strategies. Aristotle said that it was through the feeling of wonder that men and now and at first began to philosophize, but I think it not only philosophize. I think that a sense of wonder is a starting point for each research. And I would like to start with a sense of wonder. You can see the magazine Time for 2006 years. A person of years is not a famous person, is an ordinary citizen, who used digital media. It is, I think it's very provocative, and this choice provoke a deep discussion about the role of digital media, and we could find opposing discourse on digital media. First discourse that we are all citizens of a digital democracy. Anyone with internet connection can be a reporter, political commentator, cultural critic, or media producer. It is possible a new level of agency, and I think it's a very interesting position. But there is an opposite discourse, and many philosophers, and not only philosophers, criticize this discourse. For example, Slavoj Zizek, a famous philosopher, wrote an interesting article about digital media. Is this digital democracy or a new tyranny of cyberspace? He said that the hype of freedom on the web masks both disparities of powers and the dangers of blurring real and virtual identities. It ignores the material disparities, for example, wealth, social position, power, or lack of it. he thinks that discrepancies between what you really are and what you appear to be in digital space can lead to murderous violence. I think it's an extreme position, but for me, it is interesting uh, to make a comparative analysis of two opposing discourse. And about a mediation, we can find different discourse. For example, you can see this picture. Father read newspaper, mother read a book, and children read online. But what is what is means to read in the digital age? What is means to read in digital age? In an article in the New York Times, an author wrote that the hours spent prowling the internet are the enemy of reading, diminishing literacy, wrecking attention spans, and destroying a precious common culture that exists only through the reading of books. And another authors, Nielsen, posed the question: how users read on the web? They don't. People rarely read web pages word by word. Instead, they scan the page, picking out individual words and sentences. But it is only one discourse. There is an opposite discourse. Many scholars said that the internet has created a new kind of reading, a new kind of literacy, media literacy, information literacy, computer literacy, digital literacy. There are different terms. I don't know what's the better. Some words about in our previous meeting we had an interesting discussion about the relationship between theory and empirical data. I think that maybe it is useful to think about that in every scientific investigation we should take into account at least three moments. The object of scientific knowledge. Second, the maturity level of scientific knowledge. And third moment, the subject, the researcher. I would like to say something about the object of scientific knowledge. In Russian language, there are two terms that reference in different kinds of phenomena. There is a term object. Object deals mostly with material things existing independently of the mind. A thing having existence. Object is a thing having existence. And another definition, object is a unity which integrates the multifaceted, multiple aspects. Predmet, it's another thing. Predmet means the target or content of a thought or an action, something at which an action is directed, an aspect of the object. I know that in German there is the term Gegenstand. Maybe it is useful to think our approaches, post-Vygotskian psychology and learning theory, multimodal analysis, anthropological theory and research. Maybe uh, they refer to different predmet, to different aspect of object. But of course, in this case, can arise a question, and could be arise different uh, different kind of a connection between these approaches. Maybe the object is observed from different theoretical perspectives, and maybe the object is considered to so complex that it requires diversified data collection. I think one of most difficult things is our project how to connect cross-cultural or sensitive cultural research with interdisciplinary research. What is the relation between them? I think that there are different strategies. First strategy, applying each approach in a particular sociocultural context. It's maybe a first level. For example, apply Vygotskian perspective in Russian context, etc. Second approach, applying all approaches in all sociocultural contexts. And maybe there is a third strategy, integrating these approaches in a new approach. Of course, the question, how can research finding from different sociocultural historical contexts could be comparable? I think it is a new question. We are interested in marginalized young people, but what is criteria of marginalization? Marginalization is being away from the mainstream out on the margins of society. Usually marginalization is defined in relation to normative average, but what is the criteria of marginalization? We can find different criteria. For example, unemployment or long-term unemployment, lack of skills and education, lack of family and social support, living in deprived areas, or lack of control for his in her life. And maybe the criteria of marginalization depends on sociocultural context. For example, it is not the same marginalization in Russia and Brasilia or Greece. There is some differences. We should take into account these differences.
Manuel, would you say that marginalization, for instance, for kids in schools, that they don't learn how to read and write, should be marginalization?
Yeah.
Because we have a lot in Brazil these in our research. So I think you're right. So we have to, maybe you can use all of that.
Maybe use all criteria.
Yes.
All together.
All together. Say, well, we are. It depends. We make a criteria, for instance, to discuss what is marginalization, and then we can use them, thinking in all the situations of the people in the project.
It is a possible strategy.
Yeah.
I probably it's good to discuss a little bit. I also would say that these criteria are structural and statistical or demographic, but the same person might be marginalized in a different way in two different situations.
Yes, that's what I was.
So in one situation, a woman that is middle class might feel marginalized just because she's a woman, while in a different situation the problem might be that she's middle class and her parents are not so educated, or she might in another situation not be at all marginalized because she will be confronted or in communication with other women or other people who are far more, let's say, marginalized.